Welcome to this new episode of 7 Minutes with the Word. As usual, I want to share a thought with you. And this thought is coming from the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 12. In this verse, Apostle Paul tells Timothy, don't let anyone look down on you because you're young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. I want to talk to you on what I've titled, How to Earn People's Respect as a Gospel Minister. Respect is a sense of deep regard. It's a feeling of deep admiration for someone. This admiration is elicited or obtained by the people's achievement, the people's capacities, qualifications, endowments, or character. In these verses, Apostle Paul is showing us that it's possible for a minister of the gospel to be despised, to be disrespected, to be looked down. And he urges Timothy, his son, to counter such disrespect. And to counter this disrespect, Apostle Paul tells Timothy to live an exemplary life. In other words, for Apostle Paul, to live an exemplary life is the antidote for ministerial disrespect. What that means is, if a minister of the gospel wants to be respected, he needs to live an exemplary life. Conversely, if a gospel minister lives a non-exemplary life, he will be despised. He will be disregarded. He will be disrespected, irrespective of the kind of anointing that is at work in his life. Now, in this verse, Apostle Paul shows about 5 areas in which Timothy needed to set an example to believers in order to earn their respect. And I think that these 5 areas still apply to us today. Now, the first that Apostle Paul mentions here is that Timothy needed to be an example in speech. He said, be an example of speech. An example in speech means being an example in how you talk, in the words that come from your mouth. Paul says by being an example in your speech, you will counter every form of despise. Now, there are a lot of us ministers of the gospel who are very, very flippant with words, to get ourselves involved in all kind of gossips with Christians and even non-Christians. And we're expecting that the people we gossip with are going to respect us. The second area where Timothy needed to show an example is conduct. He said, be an example in conduct, in how you live, in how you behave. Your behavior should talk for you. You need to make sure that when you're out there, the way you talk, the way you react, the way you act, all of that should validate who you are as a man of God. The third area where Timothy needed to be an example is love. He said, be an example in love. Love is expressed through care for people, through interest for the people, interest in who they are, interest in their person, not just interest for what they have. Apostle Paul tells Timothy, show genuine love, genuine care, genuine concern for the people, and they will respect you. The fourth area that demanded an exemplary life was faith. He says, be an example in faith. Show faith. Don't just talk faith. Exemplify faith. Exemplify faith in difficulties. Show the believers that it's very possible to go through adversity, yet to remain a person of faith. And the last area, the fifth area, where Apostle Paul asked Timothy to be an example is purity. He said, be an example in purity. in your dealings with the opposite sex. Sexual purity is important. Paul is saying if you want to earn respect, be pure in your dealings with the opposite sex. You can be a man of God, a woman of God, and you have sexual or intimate relations with your Christians, and you think that these people are going to respect you. So Apostle Paul says, the antidote for disrespect is an exemplary life. It's modeling Christ. It's modeling Christianity. So as a man of God, I want you to understand that respect in ministry is not commanded. You don't command respect. You earn respect through your exemplary life. Example is the key to earning the respect of the people. No one is going to respect you because you answer the name pastor. No one is going to respect you because you have a title or you have a position. But respect will begin to come when people realize that you're modeling Christ, you're modeling the faith, you're an example of faith. Once you do that, respect begins to follow, and people see in you someone they can follow, someone whose example they can emulate. Are you a minister of the gospel? Do you want to be respected by your people? Respected by people outside the faith folk? Then be an example. Be an example in your speech, in your conduct, in your faith. An example in purity. An example in love. The Lord bless you abundantly. If you've been blessed, we'll be happy that you share so that the gospel reaches as many people as possible. You can as well subscribe so that anytime a new message comes, you receive a notification. The Lord bless you in abundance.